Welcome to Freedom Forest, guys, the 3-acre edible oasis that we're creating here in the south of England, where we like to try lots of new things and push the boundaries with what we can grow using permaculture and no-dig methods. Absolutely no chemicals, weed killers or synthetic fertilisers, just what nature provides. In 2019, we grew sweet potatoes for the first time.
Check it out, it's the big day. First year we trialled doing some sweet potatoes, 4 different varieties, more hardy ones and what are grown in the tropics. Have a look down here, some of the harvest so far. Weren't sure how it was going to go. Some of these are absolute beauties. This is a lovely red variety. Have got the name somewhere, check this out. Planted 20 slips of each variety. I mean, check this. For UK, this is not in a polytunnel, back to Eden ground, organic, only the wood chips to provide food for them. You've got to see this. Look at this. This one here is like, so far, haven't finished excavating it, it's like going to be like 1.5 feet long. Absolutely mad.
We were pleasantly surprised with the results for a first-time crop, and one variety stood out for its yield, Tynong 65, or T65 as it's commonly known. So in 2020 we took our sweet potato growing a lot more seriously, and we really focused on the T65 variety for our outdoor planting.
Very exciting. First plant, and it looks like quite a good one. Wow. I mean, you can see here, this kind of beats the kind of harvest you get from a good yield of normal potatoes, really. So, I mean, it's crazy that these aren't grown more often here. If you want to help, that's fine, Mills, but try not to lie exactly where I'm working. I just can't get across how exciting this is, though. I mean, it just takes me back to being in the South Pacific. It's amazing. Oh my word. Look at that. 6 from one plant. 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, not bad at all there.
And as you can see, we ended up with a really good harvest this year, and we were definitely in love with growing sweet potatoes. Let's get harvesting!
Okay, here's our first plant, and you can see already down here some of the damage due to the mice and rats this year. So we're going to work our way through initially, just cutting the stems away from the tops of the tubers, and once we've cleared that we can begin to see what our harvest is going to be like.
"2021 saw another year of great sweet potato harvesting. We did notice a few slightly nibbled sweet potatoes, but no major damage was done to the size of our harvest. You can just see where the tip had gone right down into the clay here, but all the rest of that beautiful potato had been in our no-dig compost layers. Sweet potatoes are one of our favourite crops to grow and harvest. And yet again, the T65 variety, grown using organic, no dig, no fertiliser, no chemical methods, has not let us down. And we've still got our polytunnel grown sweet potatoes to harvest. Today is a super exciting day for us, and it feels like it's been a really long time coming this year.
It certainly has been, yes, because as you can see all along the left-hand side of us here, our yacon has yet to be touched by frost. The sweet potatoes have yet to be touched by frost. We've got cannas still out, bananas, mashua. We just haven't had a frost this year yet, have we?
No, one really light frost, but like only in certain frost pockets, not everywhere across the land. So we've been holding off, but today is our sweet potato harvest day.
Highly anticipated. And what is the date now, roughly?
It's the 12th of November
12th
today.
of November.
12th of November.
Oh, they're going all over the place.
Yeah, I think what it is because they haven't had the moisture, instead of just going down like they normally do in a little bunch, they're kind of spreading out more, aren't they?
Yeah, it's looking like they're smaller but longer this year so far. Interesting. Now that is more what we normally expect from our T65 harvest. That's normally more the size that we look at from each bunch. Oh, there it is. It's a nice one. Right, this is more like what we want to be seeing. This is our favourite sort of T65 potato to uncover.
That is looking promising, isn't it?
And I've got two bunches here that are looking pretty good that I've kind of uncovered all at the same time. So
it's like an archaeology expert. What's it called? When you remove soil?
An archaeological dig.
Yeah, dig. There's another word. Excavation. Excavation.
We're excavating the sweet potatoes.
Yes. It's like the woolly mammoth bones. Look at
We've got
those.
the woolly mammoth here.
Yeah.
So 2022 hasn't been our biggest T65 harvest to date by a long shot, but it has still given us a really decent amount of sweet potatoes to look after ourselves with throughout the winter, and that is really valuable to us. What we are learning every year though with gardening is one of the things that is so important is diversity. And that is both in growing a wide range of crops so that if something fails, you've always got something else as a backup, but also in where you grow your crops. Our 2022 harvest was definitely affected by the droughts that we had that year. However, it was still a really good harvest. It's the 25th of September. It is a beautiful sunny day, which is ideal for getting the sweet potatoes out of the ground and starting the curing process. So T65 sweet potatoes on both sides here. We've grown twice as much as we normally do this year. So let's have a look at how our harvest is going to come off for 2023. I've got Dan and Murph with me to help today, so let's get cracking. But in 2023, something changed, and we think we know what it is. We had been noticing over the last couple of years the occasional chew mark in our sweet potato tubers or in the vines, but nothing that caused any substantial damage to our harvest. I mentioned in my last video, I know we've had rats around this year. We had them underneath all the sweet potatoes in tunnel 1 earlier on in the season, and then they seemingly disappeared and I haven't been seeing them. And my fear was that they had come up and started on our outdoor sweet potatoes. And now I've just uncovered the first stem of where there should be a cluster of potatoes, and there is a big hole underneath and no tubers. So we'll keep going. Fingers crossed we are actually going to get something to harvest and that the rats haven't obliterated everything. We've got a plant here that hasn't got any tunnels underneath. So we're going to start with this one and hopefully get off on the right foot.
one going off in this direction there. Okay, yeah, not bad for plant one.
The soil is heavy this year. And it pours like you might have to dig with. Okay folks, so this is our harvest from one half of our sweet potato growing area this year. I'm pleased we've got something, but this is not the sort of harvest that we are used to. The rats have really got the better of us this year. That is definitely what the issue is. The rat situation is a really hard thing for us. We grow organically here, we use only natural materials, we only eat organic food as much as possible for what we do buy in. We use all natural products for everything, cleaning, body. And so obviously we want to try and keep our land as clean as we can. So with that in mind, we don't like using the chemical strong rat baits that you can get. So one of the things that we notice the more years that we've been gardening is how different every year is, and to try and never become reliant on any one crop. That is one of the reasons why we grow such a variety of things here. Okay guys, so this is our outdoor T65 sweet potato harvest for this year. If you want to see how big you can get your outdoor harvest from T65 sweet potato in the UK, then check back over some of our other videos from the last 2 or 3 years. We have had some epic outdoor harvests when we haven't had so many rats around.
Baby, you give me ice and fire.
Today we are making the most of a reasonably sunny October day, and we are going to harvest our outdoor grown sweet potatoes. And this is a bit of a nerve-wracking harvest for us after losing nearly all of our crop to rats last year, after previously growing sweet potatoes successfully for at least 3 years on our land. Okay, so we've cleared away all the sweet potato vines, and I have to say it is not looking good for our sweet potato harvest again this year. There are dig holes around nearly all of the main stems of the plants where the rats have been in again. But we're going to go through and see if we can harvest any scraps and get ourselves a few meals of beautiful sweet potatoes anyway. But this is the reason why we grow such a wide variety of crops, because every year in the garden is different, and every year you never know what is going to do well or what is not, or what is going to be eaten by wildlife that is in your area. We've tried many things over the last couple of years to deter the rats, and we've learnt that sweet potatoes are definitely their favourite crop. That is one of the reasons why we avoid using forks unless we really have to. Because that is a beautiful big sweet potato, and it's got a big dig mark in him. Okay, so here is this year's sweet potato harvest, and it is probably only about 1/10 of what we would have liked to have gotten from this area, but considering the hassles that we've had from rats the last couple of years, I am pretty stoked that we have got any harvest at all. So I'm still really happy with this harvest, and we have got a good few sweet potatoes that we will get to enjoy for our efforts. And we have actually got a few really nice size clean potatoes that we are going to get to enjoy, and we'll probably save these ones for baking, because that is one of my absolute favourite ways to enjoy sweet potatoes. And much to my surprise, we have even got a small harvest of Molokai Purple, which is a type of sweet potato that I normally only grow undercover in the polytunnel, because we've found over the years that this variety needs a little bit more heat to get it going. So some of these potatoes are half eaten by rats, but there is still a really good amount of food on there, and we'll cure these potatoes off, and it's actually surprising how well some of these big wounds will heal over. But we will use any potatoes like this sooner rather than later. And what has actually excited me the most about this harvest, despite being plagued by rats for a second year running, is actually the possibilities that this crop has shown for being grown in the UK. So we've saved these bits here to show you guys how big some of these sweet potatoes would have actually been had they have not been eaten by rats. These are absolutely huge, and this is grown outdoors in the UK. And this particular variety is called T65, and if you've been following our channel for a while, you may have watched other of our sweet potato videos and know that we've done quite a lot of trials with different varieties, and T65 is always the one that's come out best for us for growing outdoors here in the south of England. But yeah, like, these are absolutely massive. So what I would love to share with you guys is the fact that sweet potatoes can be grown really well in the UK, and if you do not have a rat issue in your garden or your growing area, then I would highly recommend growing yourself some T65 sweet potatoes if you want to get one of the most enjoyable crops out of the ground. We absolutely love growing sweet potatoes, and we have got a few ideas of how we're going to keep changing the methods that we grow, because I'm not willing to give this crop up yet, despite the challenges that we are facing. So we will share more about the ideas that we have started to get in mind as soon as they come together, and certainly for next year's planting and harvest. We hope that, like many things with nature, this is just a cycle that we are in right now with the rat dominance, and with a little management it will run its course. In the meantime, we are thinking up ways to outsmart the rats when it comes to sweet potatoes, as we are not willing to give up this delicious crop. And yes, you can grow sweet potatoes in the UK. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed seeing the real life challenges and rewards that gardening brings us. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button just below the video. That really helps to get our content seen by more people. We love hearing from you, so drop your comments and questions and ideas down below. Make sure you're subscribed to Freedom Forest Life, and if you would like to see more of our sweet potato growing journey, then check out our sweet potato playlist, which you can find on our channel. And we look forward to seeing you here again soon. Thanks for watching. Peace and plants.